All right, y'all, so I am kind of surprised by this news, probably because we did not really get a full shot of Rhaenyra's baby Visenya. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad for my girl Rhaenyra. But yeah, we didn't get a full shot of Visenya. But now it's been confirmed by the artist Barry Gower, who worked on the show doing horror makeup and prosthetics, that Rhaenyra's stillborn baby did indeed have dragon-like features. Let's talk about it. Now, as usual, I'm going to use an article just to ground myself. Y'all, I think I have ADHD for real, so I just need something to ground me because I will end up talking in trillions of different directions. So we're going to use this inverse article to really center us. And as hopefully you know, especially the book people, y'all will know that this is not the first time that this has happened when we're talking about Targaryen births, right? So let's just start with the article and talk about it as we go along. New House of the Dragon finale photos may confirm a wild Game of Thrones theory. And like I said, I've been hearing about this for the longest because I just am so obsessed with the lore that I just I've been watching videos and stuff, so I know a bit about this, but let's just, you know, read it and break it down. When the babe at last came forth, she proved indeed a monster, George R.R. Martin writes in Fire and Blood, the source material for HBO's House of the Dragon. Continues, a stillborn girl, twisted and malformed, with a hole in her chest where her heart should have been, and a stubby, scaled tail. The dead girl had been named Visenya. So that's the books describing what we saw, right, at the end of the season, which we need to hurry up and get season 2. Y'all need to be filming right now. Get y'all asses up, y'all asses up. Anyway, so let's take a break from the article real quick and read something else from Wiki of Nerds. So in the books, Rhaenyra's anger at her birthright being taken by her half-brother Aegon II Targaryen drives her into labor. Rhaenyra screamed and cursed Prince Aegon, Queen Alicent, and her baby within her for 3 days. She clutched at her stomach, shouting obscenities at the baby to come out. The screams were so loud that Maester Gerardis, hopefully I pronounced that right, and the midwife tried to contain her. So we can see clearly here that there was the main big difference between what happened in the books and the show when it comes to Rhaenyra and Visenya is that she was doing that shit for 3 days, okay? Meanwhile here, at least in the show, it took her, you know, a span of an episode to get that baby out. Right, so let's continue reading the article. If for some reason you were hoping to, I had to skip around. If for some reason you were hoping for a really good look at that dead baby, you're in luck. Barry Gower, hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right, a master of horror makeup and prosthetics design, whose resume includes Stranger Things, Chernobyl, and The Green Knight, shared an up-close and personal image of the silicone baby created for the series. And you can see here, just look at the shit here. Like, that is definitely a dragon baby. Whose goddamn dragon baby is that? Whose baby is that? So this is definitely giving dragon tease. I guess I can understand if you don't know the lore why you would think that it's giving grayscale, but the way that, as you can see from this subtitle here, but the way that it, you know, these babies have dragon features. This is not the only Targaryen for it to happen to. Daenerys is one, which I'll talk about a little bit later. It's just, to me, it doesn't give grayscale. It gives Targaryen, it gives Valyria, baby. Like, that's what it gives. We've been seeing this multiple times before, right? So it says, Game of Thrones fans immediately went into a theory crafting tizzy. Does the baby have grayscale, a deadly fictional ailment that causes the skin to flake and appear stone-like, or was this a Targaryen baby destined to be a dragon? Dragon scale, as fans call it, is when Targaryen babies emerge stillborn, usually deformed with dragon-like features such as tails, scales, and claws. Daenerys' baby with Khal Drogo was born this way, though we were led to believe that was because a witch put a curse on her, not because of the Dracomorph theory, which gets a bit out there. So let's take another break from the article and read what the book says about Rhaego, Daenerys' baby with Khal Drogo. So the book says, Rhaego was scaled like a lizard, blind with the stub of a tail, and small leather wings like the wings of a bat. When I touched him, the flesh sloughed off the bone and inside he was full of grave worms and the stink of corruption. So, you know, like the article said, a lot of people believe that, I mean, Daenerys herself believes it, that it's all Mirri Maz Duur's fault, like that happened, and that the fact that she can't have no kids. And it's just like, is it though? You know, I think the witch did have something to do with what happened. But if we're to believe, I mean, a lot of fans believe that Daenerys is gonna get pregnant again, so I mean, and of course the prophecy when she was talking about when the sun rises in the west and sets in the east, blah, 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 like when all these impossible things happen, that's when Daenerys will have a kid again. So, you know, we could talk about that, but we could talk about her magic in general, her blood magic in general. But is this really Mirri Maz Duur's fault 100%, or is this something that is common within the world of the Targaryens? And I think that's what the fans have been kind of talking about for the longest. So let's read what the World of Ice and Fire says about the Valyrians. The great beauty of the Valyrians, with their hair of palest silver or gold and eyes in shades of purple, not found amongst any other peoples of the world, is well known and often held up as proof that the Valyrians are not entirely of the same blood as other men. Yet there are maesters who point out that by careful breeding of animals, one can achieve a desirable result, and that populations in isolation can often show quite remarkable variations from what might be regarded as common. This may be a likelier answer to the mystery of the Valyrian origins, although it does not explain the affinity with dragons that those with the blood of Valyria clearly had. The book also explains that many of us know that Valyrians, which the Targaryens descended from, practiced blood magic and twisted the flesh of beasts and man to fashion monstrous and unnatural chimeras. The Dracomorph theory suggests that Targaryens are first conceived as dragons when they're in the womb, and eventually, almost at the very end of gestation, develop human characteristics. This could explain why Daenerys and Rhaenyra's babies were born in the same mutated manner after similarly stressful situations and premature pregnancies. While this is just a theory, this would also explain how and why the Valyrians thought themselves to be more gods than men. If their wombs feature a transformation from dragon to human, it's no wonder they can bond with dragons, withstand fire, and enjoy other supernatural abilities. Hopefully we won't see another birth like Visenya's on House of the Dragon. I'm sure, child, it's House of the Dragon, baby. But we're eager to learn more about the franchise's most fascinating noble house in season 2. Maybe there isn't just tragedy afoot, but magic too, girl. I mean, magic is all a part of the show, girl. Like, what are you talking about? Anyway, so I do think that the theory holds a lot of weight, but I don't know if it will be as drastic as, oh, you know, there's a dragon in the womb and then before it comes out, it turns into a human. I think what happened was that they were doing a bunch of crazy shit in Old Valyria. And I personally think that's what contributed to the doom. Like, it had to be partly magical in explanation, and it's just maybe something happened and them fucking wizards were supposed to keep something happened. I don't know, because they had like Valyria had slaves as well. So yes, they were a great empire, blah blah blah, but they were also doing evil shit. And it, you know, just like how the Targaryens are fighting each other in Westeros, ain't no telling what Dragon Lord was against what Dragon Lord in Valyria, and what they did to the magic, and the magic was holding the whole entire empire together. Something happened and they fucked it up, and the doom happened. You know, maybe that's what happened. Maybe what happened back then is that they were so focused on trying to tame these dragons, ride these dragons, that they used all type of nasty ass blood magic, disgusting ass shit. You know, it's like, yes, they were able to tame the dragons, but at what cost? Now, like, that shit maybe warped their genetics so much that even as the years and eons passed, they still will have trouble giving birth because of what the Valyrians did to try and control the dragons years and years and years and years ago. So that's my prediction, or that's my kind of assumption, is that, like, it may not be as completely dramatic as like, oh, there's a literal dragon baby in your womb before bird, and then it changes to a human right before it comes out. I mean, that's possible, but I just think it probably has more to do with the lingering effects of just fucking with the genetics so much, right? That it allowed them to, yes, control the dragons, but there were just unforeseen complications that lasted even into the years and years that it took to get to Westeros, right? So Maegor Targaryen also had several monstrous stillborns, but a lot of times it's just like we have to differentiate. We have to talk about, okay, who's the maester that's writing this, these stories, if there is one in a particular story. Just because something is deformed, I guess, I hate using that word, but you know what I mean, like just because something has defects or is stillborn does not automatically mean that it had scales and a tail as well, you see? So my thing is that yes, these things do happen, but how often do they happen and why do they happen, I think is something that is going to probably be revealed later on as George finished his damn book. You know, I don't know. But Maegor had several quote-unquote monstrous stillborns. The book says during the 3rd moon of her confinement, however, Lady Alice began to bleed heavily from the womb and lost the child. When King Maegor came to see the stillbirth, he was horrified to find the boy a monster with twisted limbs and a huge head, and no eyes. This cannot be my son, he roared in anguish. Then his grief turned to fury and he ordered the immediate execution of the midwife and Septus, who had charge of the queen's care, and Grand Maester Desmond as well, sparing only Alice's sisters. Also, Laena's child with Daemon, I forget which child, was twisted and malformed, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they had dragon scales and a dragon tail and shit. So I don't know, I would love to hear what y'all think. This theory has been going on for the longest. This is definitely not a new theory at all, but I think the confirmation that we got that Visenya was given dragon baby, like it really puts a lot of other things into perspective, especially Daenerys and Rhaegar. Like it just puts a lot of the lore into focus. And so I wonder how many more implications this will have as the story goes on. And I wonder if we will get certain mysteries solved about the magic in the upcoming seasons, maybe even in the upcoming spin-offs. I really want them to do Aegon so bad. I want them to do Aegon so bad, girl. I want them to do Valyria so bad. Oh my God, the Doom. Let's do the Doom. Come on now. Come on now, let's do the Doom. Let's see what happened with the magic. Let's see how these girls got to even control the dragons in the first place. Let's see it. We want to see it. We want to see it. So yeah, y'all, let me know what you think about all of this. I can't wait to see your comments. Love y'all so much. Thank you so much for checking out the video, and I will catch y'all later. Peace.